Talk about a multiverse of madness. Sony Pictures Animation's sequel Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse not only breaks new ground in the superhero genre, but it also breaks the understanding of the Marvel multiverse at large. As seemingly established in Spider-Man No Way Home, all Marvel movies, at least those in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and those released by Sony Pictures, coexist in the same multiverse, with every iteration of the titular web-slinger just a spell away from one another. While Across the Spiderverse doesn't violate the guidelines set in previous Marvel multiverse romps, it does build upon them in ways that could affect the MCU's defining multiverse project, the Disney Plus series Loki. Loki Season 2 is set to premiere in October 2023, and Season 1 outlined how the multiverse works, grows, and is maintained across all Marvel properties. Its mind-blowing first season finale casts some doubt on the stringency of these rules, as the mastermind behind the multiversal maintenance turns out to be an unstable Kang variant known as He Who Remains. Where Loki pulled the rug out from audiences in terms of their understanding of the multiverse, Spiderverse introduces new rules that are seemingly unimpeachable, especially in regards to the film's defining mechanic, canon events. A canon event is a moment in a Spider-Person's lifetime that is consistent across all variants in the Spider-Verse, and cannot be changed without risking total universal destruction. This includes tragedies like the death of a loved one.
And then I looked at my uncle and…
let me guess. He died?
When this concept is explained at the Spider Society headquarters, a hologram shows an image that looks similar to Loki's branching representation of the multiverse. Interestingly enough, an eerily similar concept is introduced in the Disney Plus animated series What If, referred to as absolute points.
The power required to break an absolute point in time is immense, and nigh impossible to obtain. Yeah, no doy.
The first absolute point delineated as such is the death of Christine Palmer in the episode What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart Instead of His Hands. Over the course of the story, viewers see that absolute points are nearly impossible to change without some sort of multiversal intervention. When Doctor Strange Supreme manages to do just that, his world begins to dissolve into blackness. And Across the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales inadvertently shows fans what a decaying universe looks like when he saves the life of the police captain of Pavitr Pavakar's Earth 5101. The eerie, all-consuming blackness bears a resemblance to similar events in What If and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This could mean that in every universe, what audiences see is the inter-universal apocalypse known as an incursion. What is an incursion? Take it away, Reed.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, and they collide.
By violating the boundaries between universes, Miles and Doctor Strange unintentionally altered canon events, or absolute points, if you will. Though this newfound specificity is small, it creates guidelines that, going forward, could change how heroes and villains deal with the Marvel Universe's newest overarching threat. Spider-Verse also presents a key that could save the fate of the entire Marvel multiverse in the near future.
You say the fate of the multiverse, and my brain dies!
Until Across the Spider-Verse, there were only a handful of beings capable of traversing the multiverse intentionally. Now there's a possibly infinite number of spider people that possess the ability to travel the multiverse and seemingly prevent incursions. As seen on Earth 5101, Miguel O'Hara and his team are able to keep the blackness at bay by arriving on the scene immediately. This is a skill that neither Doctor Strange nor Loki's TVA have been able to pull off. As the second season of Loki continues to explore and elaborate upon how the multiverse works, it will likely come up against the subject of incursions and how they are caused. It could lay the groundwork for Loki to discover a way to prevent incursions himself, thus staving off the inevitably messy aftermath of Kang's meddling in the multiverse. It would be a fitting end to the character's story as he learns how to maintain order without the quasi-murderous ideologies of Miguel O'Hara and He Who Remains. Instead of pruning, Loki could stimulate growth.
Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
Narratively, a focus on growth would be the polar opposite of the Infinity Saga's ethos, which communicated that victory demands sacrifice. As skillfully as this message is conveyed, it would be fitting for the new era of the Marvel multiverse to usher in something different by embracing the ability for comic book stories to evolve beyond readers' wildest imaginations, without all the nihilism. The perfect place to set up this much-needed shift would be in films like Across the Spider-Verse and TV series like Loki, which tell stories about the wonders of expanding worlds and the potential beauty of creative evolution.